Hi everybody. I wanted to go over how to quickly do sine and cosine sinusoidal graphs with your TI-84. So go ahead and type these 5 functions into your TI-84 plus, and then I would highlight y1 and y2 so that way those two are selected, so the equal signs are on and the other 3 are off. So go ahead and pause, get that in there. Okay, so now that you've done that, we're going to look at just y1 and y2, so the sine of x, and we're going to look at 3 times the sine of 4x minus 5. So the idea here is that you can look at the transformations. So I'm going to go into Zoom, and if you go down to number 7, it's Trig. So we're going to zoom Trig, and you can see you might not have done that, but I bolded my parent function, and you can't see the second function, and that's fine. So remember, we can always adjust our window. So I'm going to go into my window here, and now hopefully you've watched a little bit of the transformations already, and we know that our center line is going to be -5, and I'm going to go up 3 and down 3 from there. So -5 plus 3 is -2. And then -5 minus 3 is -8. So I'm not going low enough here, so I have to change that. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of breathing room, and I'm going to make that -10. The y max of 4 is fine, and my y scale of 1 is fine. So I'm going to go now back and hit graph. Okay, and here is the parent function, and then here is the new function. So right now, we are only looking at these 2 graphs, and if I hit trace, it'll tell me which one I'm on. So right now, I'm on the parent sine. Remember, the period of the parent sine is 2 pi, and I'm going to go now down. So I'm on the second one, and if you just think about it, this is changing the amplitude. This is shifting it down, and the 4 is 4 waves between 0 and 2 pi, so that's making it go faster. Okay? Play around with that and feel free to make any changes that you want. All right, I'm going to come in here, and I am going to deselect the first 2. I'm going to highlight y3, so I just hit enter once to get this y3 bolded. It's irrelevant that the parent of sine of x is bolded. Okay, so you can pause me if you want to, and then again, we're going to do zoom Trig. All right, and here's my graph again. So I am now looking at these 2 graphs here. So I can't see everything, so I'm going to come back here. I'm going to change my y max up to 10, and I think that should do it. Because I'm just looking at the cosine. All right, and I didn't do a good job of this with the sine, but when we first looked at the sine graph, remember the sine starts at 0 at the center line, then you do max, center line, min, back to center line for the parent. The cosine parent starts at the max, hits the center line, goes down to the minimum halfway, center line, and then max. What's happened in this one is that now it is flipped, so the minimum is where it starts. It's going twice as fast, and now the center line is 3, which is why it's here. Okay, and then if you wanted to change that, you certainly could, and I could just insert here, and I tried to show you this with the Desmos, that you could put a slider in. I'm going to do insert 0.5 and then delete that too. So now it'll be slower, and I'm going to hit graph. You can see, wow, that's one view between -2 pi and 2 pi as you go through. So when you're looking at the window here, this is about -2 pi, and that's about +2 pi. I'm going to go a little quicker here, and I'm just going to highlight the 2 parent functions. You don't have to do that. You can just kind of watch the show if you want. So if I do, I'm actually going to, it doesn't like me. Let me go back to the Zoom All right, bear with me. All right, I'm going to deselect the cosine to not make it bolded, so I think that'll help us see it. All right, I'm going to do zoom trig. Didn't make it much bigger, but all right, so here's your parent sine, and now here's the cosine, and this is the parent cosine, and you can see they really are the exact graph. And then this is what we'll be doing the following week, where we start looking at phase shift, so shifting left and right. That's actually a little bit challenging. All right, and then the sine starts and ends at the center line, and you're going 2 cycles here. Cosine starts at the max and ends at the max. So here's your first cycle, here's your second cycle. Okay, let's go and just take a quick look at the tangent. I hope you had that kind of, wow, that's pretty cool factor. With the tangent, see if you can answer this question in your head. Why, or what's happening here at these breaks in between? What might you have that we've done this year? It's your drum roll. Asymptotes, right? You have an infinite number of vertical asymptotes as you go through. And so, yeah, so you have your periodicity there. All right, thanks, guys. Hope this helps.